What's up guys, it's Tommy here and welcome to a brand new Liverpool transfer news video where we will talk about the reports coming out that Liverpool are looking to go into the Brazilian market because they are scouting a Santos Wonderkid. Liverpool are still regretting for having missed out on Rodrigo, who eventually joined Real Madrid from Santos FC in 2019. Santos is the club which was the place where Neymar came from, and then Rodrigo, so they have a very world famous youth academy and they are bringing through awesome young attacking Brazilian players. And the English media outlets are reporting that Liverpool are ready to spend a quite big significant amount on the latest Wonderkid from Santos FC, which is Angelo Gabriel. And in this video we will take a deeper look into what kind of player he is and what his career looks so far. But the teenager is under contract until December 2023, but he has a release clause of 60 million euros. And despite the Brazilian turning just 16 years old last December, Angelo has already made his first team debut during the 2020 Brasileiro season, and also the teenager made 12 appearances already for Santos, and he also broke one of Pelé's records as he's the second youngest to debut for the Brazilian side at 15 years old, 10 months and 4 days. That was 11 days sooner than Pelé. That is an absolutely incredible thing that at 15 years old he made already his professional debut at Santos. And Liverpool wants to be the first to grab this latest Wonderkid from Brazil, even if the transfer fee is a pretty expensive one. I don't think we would pay his 60 million euro release clause, but I think we could negotiate a pretty reasonable transfer fee for him. Angelo was just 15 years old when he was handed his first team debut for Santos in October in a 3-1 defeat to Fluminense. And according to the reports, both Liverpool and Real Madrid made it clear that they are interested in striking a deal with Santos for the transfer of Angelo before his stock rises and before we could end up with a situation like we ended up in 2018, where both Liverpool and Real Madrid were pursuing Rodrigo, and the winger was only 16 years old when he made his debut, so a little bit older than Angelo, and he completed a 40 million pound move 12 months later to Real Madrid. So if Liverpool wait another 6 to 12 months, we might have to pay 40 million or 50 million pounds for this kid rather. And right now, if we strike a deal with Santos, it could be a fraction of that, and then we could have another situation where we sign a player with huge potential like Harvey Elliott for a little bit of money with a huge uprise, huge upwards movement in his worth. There is of course a huge risk signing such a young player from Brazil for a significant amount of money, because yes, Neymar and Rodrigo turned out to be great talents, but Gabriel Barcelona, for example, is a cautionary tale because he had a fantastic reputation when he joined Internacional in 2016, but he was just too young and it came too soon for him, and he didn't really make it in the Serie A, he didn't make it on loan in Portugal. Now Gabigol is back in Brazil and he's doing very well, but the move came too soon for him, and some players are cut out for this, so other players aren't, and it's very early and very hard to tell which player has the mental strength to arrive in a new country, to a completely new continent, in fact, to a new league at just 16, 17 years old and really make it as a professional footballer. So Angelo Gabriel is a 173 centimeters tall player who is 5'8" tall, and he's basically a forward player, so he can play as a striker, he can play as a winger. He was born in Brasilia, and he joined the Santos youth setup in 2015, aged just 10 years old, and he started to first appear for the under-20s at Santos in July 2020, and then he was promoted pretty quickly to the first team in October. And also Angelo agreed to a professional pre-contract deal which was effective as of his 16th birthday. He made his professional debut 2 days later later coming on as a second half substitute in a 3-1 away defeat to Fluminense. And he also made his Copa Libertadores, which is the South American Champions League equivalent tournament. He made his debut in that tournament on March the 9th, 2021, so just a few days earlier, starting in a 2-1 home win over Deportivo Lara. At just 16 years old, to make your Copa Libertadores debut is absolutely incredible. He became the youngest Santos player to appear in the competition, surpassing Rodrigo, who later on went to sign for Real Madrid. And Angelo also represented the Brazil under-15 team in 2019, scoring in a 4-0 win against Uruguay. And then he took part in the 2019 South American Under-15 Championship in November. Also, he was called up with the Under-16s for the year's Montaiju tournament, but the competition was later suspended because of the pandemic. And in October he was called up for the Brazil Under-17 side. So he is making waves in Brazil. He already has 12 appearances in all competitions for Santos, which is absolutely brilliant. As a 16 years old, I just can't really stress how amazing that is. And I think Liverpool, if we can find a right price for him, something like 15-20 million, then I would be comfortable with this signing. But if we have to pay 40-50 million for a Brazilian 16-year-old kid, I think that there is too much risk in that transfer for the potential reward. And Jurgen Klopp also spoke out on the criticism for Thiago. He said Thiago was very good against Leipzig. When Naby Keita came on, that was also good. I assume when you all look at Liverpool from Germany, people say the problem is to do with Thiago or whatever, but that's rubbish. For the players who are new, they always needed time to get used to our game plan, but Thiago doesn't have that. But he improves week on week. It's not a short-term project with Thiago, it is a long-term project, and it was good. It is a very fluid how we work together. The boys played some nice passes, and Thiago actually had a great chance as well. He could have shot at goal, but instead he paused, and that's typical of Thiago. He's very unselfish, and I think now with my opinion, that with Fabinho back in the midfield, Thiago will be unleashed, and we will see the true real Thiago, because at Bayern Munich he didn't really have to defend that much, and Liverpool without Fabinho, without Henderson, of course Thiago has to defend a lot more. But now that he is back in the team, I think it will be much better. And the Spanish newspaper Sport is claiming that Gini Wijnaldum will pursue an extended stay at Anfield with a potential Barcelona transfer and very close to collapse, because Barcelona found a really awesome young talent who can play in Wijnaldum's position, and that midfielder is called Moriba, and he has been pretty awesome for Barcelona in recent weeks. I'm watching Barcelona a lot because my girlfriend, she's a Barcelona fan, so we watch games together, which is awesome. And I see Moriba as a really big talent who I think will make it at Barcelona. And Liverpool have been negotiating with Wijnaldum for several months over a new contract, but without any success. But now that Wijnaldum sees maybe his main move being blocked to Barcelona, maybe he will decide to stay and sign that new contract that is on the table. Liverpool probably don't want to give Wijnaldum too big a contract, and maybe Wijnaldum will decide that he will stay. Basically, he can still decide even when his contract expires. After that, he can still sign for Liverpool. The extension will be there. And Firmino being injured paved the way for Jota to start, and I think he made a big difference against Leipzig. And Jamie Carragher said that he has been calling for Jota to start ahead of Firmino for a while. He said this, Jamie Carragher, I think Firmino has been fortunate that Jota has been out for long, because I think he was on the verge of breaking into that front three and breaking that front three up really. It's just interesting that when Jota went central tonight, I think at the weekend it was Salah who went through the middle and Jota was in a wide position, but Jota is a bigger goal threat right at this moment. We know Firmino brings other things, his high pressing, his link-up play, but to just think that Liverpool need to get as many goal scorers as possible on the pitch, because the midfield players don't score, the fullbacks create, and they have lost Van Dijk. So Jota needs to be on that pitch, and I think he needs to play central so Salah and Mane can play in their usual positions, and Jota will press the opposition defense high. He is a very high energy player, So I don't think there is a problem with Liverpool having to change their playing style too much with Jota in the team. I don't think that's the case. Jota can press the opposition pretty well as well. And Rio Ferdinand, who is now working as a pundit at BT Sport, he spoke about Liverpool's transfer strategy for the summer. I think it's a blip for Liverpool. Jurgen Klopp's biggest challenge will be to pick these players up and rebuild them. It took them 3 or 4 years to build this confidence after building such fear in opponents to now teams just walking up to Anfield and getting wins. I think given the last couple of years, Liverpool had 2 Champions League finals back to back. I think people will still go there with the mindset that they can get back. I think they could still get somebody like Haaland or Mbappe. Someone like Mbappe looks at the way Liverpool play, and he also looks at the manager. You look at the quality of players they have got there and the manager. Is that the type of manager you would want to play for if you are Mbappe or Haaland? Yes, Klopp is still that type of manager, absolutely. And I think that's encouraging because Rio Ferdinand, he knows what top players want, and even if Liverpool end up in the Europa League, who knows what Haaland or Mbappe will be thinking in the summer. We will find that out probably when the time is right. Thiago also reflected on his performances, and he was asked about the potential criticism about his performances. He said, "I don't read a word about what people talk about me. I know that I receive some criticism about my performances, but I'm not happy with my performances since I came here. A new club, a strange situation. I had a strong injury, so to get into the rhythm, it was hard, but it's not an excuse, and I will do better in the future." And I'm sure that with every week passes, Thiago will learn his role a little bit more, and he will definitely be a success at Liverpool because he's a world-class player. The team was just decimated by injuries. How can people blame Thiago for that? He was coming into a team with such bad form. The forward players couldn't finish their chances, and that's not the fault of Thiago. And I think he's a great player. He will be unleashed now that Fabinho is back into the midfield. And he said this, that Fabinho being back in midfield, it frees me up a bit. I can move some lines forward, and with that I can be more confident and I can play nearer the strikers. I enjoy playing a bit more advanced because you are always near the goal and you can create chances and you can score. It's a nice position, and I think Thiago hits the nail on the head there. That I think that's a terrific position for Thiago to play because that's where he can really affect games in the forward areas. So let me know what you think about that in the comments below, and thanks for watching guys. Hope you enjoyed this. Have a nice day. See you later. Goodbye.